we need to call out China's double standards. China is being extremely hypocritical. It has double standards. It's a country that does not believe in religion, and yet it is getting hyper and going ahead saying that it is going to decide who the Dalai Lama's reincarnation is going to be. Now, they've been getting very, very hot under the collar and trying to threaten people and saying that if India tries to interfere in the process of the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama, it's not going to be good, blah, 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 blah. Now, the point is this, and I'm addressing the Chinese. How can anyone decide where the Dalai Lama is going to be reborn apart from the Dalai Lama himself? And if they're so interested in deciding everyone's reincarnation, then maybe Xi Jinping should start, and I mean it, I address every person in China. Every citizen in China should rise up in revolt against Xi Jinping unless Xi Jinping declares who Mao's reincarnation is, and whether it is the Chinese Communist Party that has been suppressing who Mao's reincarnation is, because every Chinese premier is worried that Mao's reincarnation will take over their job. For that matter, maybe Xi Jinping should also announce who Deng Xiaoping's reincarnation is. If they're so interested in deciding who Dalai Lama's reincarnation is, then they should begin with Mao. Now, does Xi Jinping have the courage to do that? He does not. My second point tonight is this: there's no point trying to interfere in matters that are not your business. And this is to the Chinese. I would say keep your self-respect and go home. You're going to be embarrassing yourself, and I hope this video reaches the Chinese. Despite all the attempts of the Chinese government to suppress information that may awaken their people, I would like to tell the Chinese people, please tell your government to stop embarrassing itself like it had done when it tried to interfere in the abrogation of an Article 370, which we did to fully integrate Kashmir with India. That's none of your business, Xi Jinping. And in 2019, when our Prime Minister visits Arunachal Pradesh, they have problems. It's no problem. I don't understand. We don't talk to and tell Xi Jinping when he has to go to Shanghai or not. Arunachal Pradesh is as much a part of India as Shanghai is a part of China. But a broader message needs to go to the Chinese. This is a new India. Don't try and talk down to us. Don't try and create trouble with us, because you're going to be creating trouble for yourself. The second point is, and logically speaking, the Chinese government is anti-religion. It does not believe in religion. It imposes restrictions on religion. Religion is tightly controlled. Religious groups are closely under a watch. That is the ideology of the Chinese Communist Party. It is officially an atheist nation. How does an atheist nation want to decide what is a purely, innately religious process, such as the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama? That's so hypocritical, that's so wrong. I think unless Xi Jinping says that Buddhism is going to be the state religion of China and we are not going to be an atheist country, a communist country, he should not talk. Secondly, even within the restricted framework of religion within China, the bottom line is the Chinese branch of Buddhism does not believe in reincarnation. Chinese Buddhism is very different from Tibetan Buddhism. Chinese Buddhism is called Han Buddhism. It does not include a reincarnation system. Now, unless Xi Jinping wants to change the essentials of Han Buddhism, he cannot do something which says, my government, which does not believe in reincarnation, Chinese Buddhism, which does not believe in reincarnation, now wants to have IP rights and a patent over the process of reincarnation. That's unacceptable. As I said, first, Xi Jinping should declare who the reincarnation is of Deng Xiaoping, who died in 1997, and why Xi Jinping has suppressed that information, or for that matter, who the reincarnation of Mao is, who died in 1976. Now, why the Chinese are getting so worked up is because China invaded Tibet in 1950. This is 2025. At that time, the Dalai Lama was 15 years old. Today, he is 90 years old. And he's saying, I'm going to decide where I'm going to be reincarnated. This entire controversy is actually, I would say, reminding the Chinese of their failure to crush the spirit of the Tibetan people, the independent spirit, the fighting spirit, the ideologically unswerving spirit of the Tibetan people, which generations before and generations after Xi Jinping will continue to try to crush, and they will fail. So Xi Jinping knows that he's been an utter failure. He can't do anything on Taiwan. He cannot do anything on Tibet. His time is running out. His economy is falling. He's fighting with the Americans. He's fighting with everyone. He's unpopular even in the global south. And India has always stood by Tibet, and all the suppression of the Tibetans has failed. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are a few straight questions to the Chinese. Don't poke your business in other people's affairs. And Tibet is not your business. Not your business. This message is to the Chinese. Please spread it so it reaches the Chinese Communist Party and they understand where not to cross the line.